Hey there, Mr. Reddit here. Welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents Stories. Our first story we'll be reading today. Does this look medium well to you? After that, Entitled Mom demands I send a wedding gift, so I did. After that, Lady got mad I didn't help her and spills her coffee all over me. After that, you stole my car, I will make you homeless. And after that, Entitled Old Ladies want to see my ID, so I showed it to them. Now Karen promised me if we could get 1,000 likes on this video, she won't spill coffee on anyone else for an entire week. So please smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories from Reddit every single day. And join as an official member of the Re-Army today, and I'll give you a special shout out in our next video. Does this look medium well to you? Context: I'm a teenager that works at a multi-floor restaurant. Because it's usually very busy, we only have a kitchen on the first floor, and waiters are generally assigned to a ton of tables. We have waiters and servers. Waiters take the order of the customers and generally handle most of the upfront contact with them, and servers carry the food, usually up flights of stairs, on a tray to the table that ordered it. I am a server. Meet your stunning cast. We've got me, random girl who probably enjoyed this exchange way too much. We've got Karen, entitled lady, probably around 40. Can I speak to your manager hairdo? We've got Brenda, assumedly the mother of Karen, around 60 to 70, reeks of way too much lavender perfume. We've got Steve, my coworker, a waiter with a totally awesome looking man bun, not his actual name. We've got Jimmy, my other coworker, a server, good friend of mine, once again not his actual name. And we've got poor dude, Karen's significant other. So, I was working a normal Saturday evening shift, and we've hit the dinner rush that usually starts around 5 and runs until 8. This basically means that us servers are running food practically non-stop up staircases, and sometimes have to carry a larger tray with the food for anywhere between 2 and 4 tables. So yeah, it's hectic. Anyways, I'm sent to the second floor with 3 tables orders, and as we aren't really supposed to have the slips of paper with the specific orders out as it's considered unprofessional, I was somewhat struggling to remember which table ordered which burger, who had the nachos, etc. I set my massive tray onto one of the foldable mini tables we carry around when we have a large tray, and I set to work picking up foods and announcing what each one was so the customers could let me know where to set it. I'm in the middle of doing this for a second table when I hear somebody clear their throat loudly. I glance over at them to see a woman, Karen, waving me over, clearly mad about something. I smile at her and say, "I'll be over in just a minute," and I get back to work. I finally reached the third table and was starting to help them when I heard that sound that causes you to just know you're gonna deal with entitled people. Karen. Ahem. I nod in her direction and wave shortly to let her know I haven't forgotten her. Karen. Me, rolling my eyes, but keeping up my customer service face and voice. Thanks for your patience this far. I'll help you as soon as I finish here. Karen. I need service over here. Me. Okay, I'll only be a minute. Karen rolls her eyes and makes some snide remark to Brenda, who shakes her head at me. I finished serving these really nice customers their food, and they were both pretty loud when thanking me for my awesome service, as they can tell as well as I can what I'm about to deal with. I thank them, and one lady mouthed good luck to me. Oh boy. I walk over to their table and put on my best customer service grin. Mind you, as I spoke, I was trying so hard to sound ecstatic to help them that I'm sure I sounded like a Disney princess or something. Me. Hello, how may I help you? Karen. There's something extremely wrong with my food. Me. Oh, I'm sorry. What seems to be the issue? Karen points at her completely untouched burger. This is the issue. Me. I'm sorry, I don't fully understand. Could you possibly elaborate so I can help more? Karen, rolling her eyes. Fine. She cuts her burger in half with a knife, opens it, and points out a tiny spot of pink. Does this look medium well to you? For the record, medium well-cooked burgers mean there is a little pink in it. Me, laughing internally and trying to keep a straight face. Oh, sorry for the confusion. I'm pretty sure that medium well means there is a little pink in it. I understand how— No, You are wrong, and clearly know nothing about how food is cooked. There should not be any pink whatsoever. I'm not paying for this abomination. Poor dude. Honey, Karen, don't interrupt me. At this point, I glance at Brenda and poor dude. Brenda is giving me a death glare for whatever reason, and poor dude is just sitting there pretty pale and obviously uncomfortable. So I decide to try to end it as soon as possible for his sake. Me. I apologize for any confusion. I'm afraid I don't have my tablet with me, so I can't enter your order. But would you like me to grab your waiter? Karen. Is that even a question? Me. Okay. Do you know what their name is? I can try to find them for you. No. At this point, Brenda finally chimes in, acting all high and mighty. Brenda. Oh, I didn't catch his name, but I know what he looks like. Me. Okay, I can try to work with that. What does he look like? Brenda. Well, he is kind of tall, and he's not that good looking. I internally roll my eyes. Brenda, smug as heck. Oh, right. I remember. He had... Not even kidding. She paused for dramatic effect. She then said the next part like she was disgusted. A ponytail. Me, practically wheezing, as I was not expecting that. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Brenda gives a smug grin. Okay, I'll grab him for you. So I go and find my coworker Steve, the only guy on the floor with a man bun, and tell him what's going on. Not gonna lie, we laughed about it for a minute straight before he went out to deal with them, and I ran back to the kitchen to serve more food. Anyways, Steve ended up re-entering her order, this time as a well-done burger, for free. Sadly, I was not the one that ran that order, but the good news is my friend Jimmy got it and told me about it after the rush was over. This isn't word for word in any way because I heard it about 2 hours after it happened. Jimmy. Hi, I have your classic cheeseburger cooked. Well done. Thanks for your patience. We do apologize for the previous confusion. Karen. Jimmy. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Where would you like me to set this? You may as well throw it away. I'm not going to eat it. Okay, well, the chefs made it for you for free. So would you like me to get you a to-go box? You teenagers never listen, do you? What? I said I don't want it. Go throw it away. You get paid to do stuff for customers, right? Jimmy, pretty shocked. Look, I don't want to get in trouble for throwing away food if you suddenly decide you want it. So I'm gonna just leave it here, and you can feel free to throw it away if you really don't want it. He walked away, ignoring how upset Karen was at that. Anyways, us servers didn't hear from them again, as we were busy and they didn't order anything else. However, I did manage to pass by their table after they left, and they left it a mess. They literally dumped their leftover sodas and drinks onto the plates and pulled the lining out of their nacho chip basket. That burger the chefs had remade? It was looking like a horse trampled the food in old McDonald's barn with the bun over here, the meat over there, here a lettuce, there a lettuce, everywhere lettuce, lettuce. The only clean area was where poor guy sat, and I felt bad for the man. I mean, he has to constantly deal with Karen, and possibly Brenda too. Oh, and guess what? No tip for the poor waiter. But don't worry, because those nice people at the third table I helped left a 40% tip for the waiter to compensate, and Jimmy and I got this story. So, all's well that ends well. Speaking of burgers, how do you like yours cooked? Please leave a comment letting me know. Next we've got, Entitled Mom demands I send a wedding gift. So I did. My family and I immigrated to the US when I was 7, and for the first 3 months we were here, we lived with a relative of my mom's who immigrated a few years before us. The dad helped my dad going to interviews, helped him buy a car, and helped us find our bearings in the US. My family and I are Buddhist, and this family are Christian. When we lived with them, they strongly encouraged us to go to the church with them every Sunday, and they tried to keep us going to church with them when my family found a temple and started attending it. They started treating us like crap. Their sons would pick on me and make fun of my English and told me I won't go to college and probably just end up being a repairman. The mom and their daughter would make fun of my sister for her weight loss and gains. When we found out later that this was due to lupus and she had to be hospitalized, they told my mom the reason my sister is sick is because of our religion. About 15 years ago, the dad lost his job. My parents, who were now doing well, needed to retile the house, so they hired the dad to do it, and when I asked how much they were charged, I was floored, thinking they miscalculated. I told them they were way overpaying, but my dad just said, "We're paying them back." This happened again. Every home improvement project my dad did, he would always hire the dad and would always be overcharged. The crappy thing is, the work was beyond subpar. Like the retiling work, I had to regrout the entire job when I visited one holiday. On top of this, they would always ask to borrow money and never paid my dad back. At this point, I figured my parents paid them back and then some. Frankly, I was completely done with them when I heard what they said about my sister. One day, I got a wedding invitation. Their middle son is getting married. Not wanting to have anything to do with them, I RSVP'd no. About a month later, I got a call from their mom asking why I haven't sent a gift yet. She demanded I send a gift despite my protest. I am not obligated to. Then she mentioned how my family owed them, and she knew I could afford to send gifts because I had a well-paying job, and how she always prayed for us to be saved. When she said this, it triggered the wheels in my brain to turn, and I told her she's right. I was being rude, and I will send a gift. When I hung up, I immediately looked up every non-Christian house of worship in their area and made a donation in the happy couple's name. About 2 to 3 weeks later, I got a call from the mom. I answered as politely as I could. "Oh, hi, did you enjoy the gift?" This was met with a barrage of yelling, screeching, and a torrent of insults. I was barely able to make anything out. The daughter called my sister, and the middle son called me later, demanding an explanation. I flat out told him everything and was 100% non-apologetic about it. Actually, I did say I was sorry for not being there to see the whole thing go down. When I spoke to my sister later, this is what we're able to piece together. They had the wedding shower at their church after services, and they were opening their gifts then. Well, they got to my gift. Everyone was uncomfortable seeing all the donations to the houses of worship with definitely non-Christian names made in the couple's names. Then the bride's parents flipped out when they saw the membership cards and certificates with the family's name on it. The bride's parents demanded she break off the engagement, and she did. Everyone in their church apparently thinks the whole family are trying to corrupt their church, and they are now treated as pariahs. I ran into the mom and dad a few weeks ago at the market, and I looked at them. They scurried away from me. Was I a jerk for doing this? Yeah, no debate there. But I figure with how much I donated, I don't think anyone can call me ungrateful or say it's a cheap wedding gift. But really, I am sorry. I wasn't there to see the whole thing go down. Next we've got, Lady got mad I didn't help her and spills my coffee all over me. So this was like 2 years ago. I was at the grocery store in the water aisle picking up a bottle of soda for a party later when I noticed an older man struggling with a gallon of water. I offered to help and put the water jug into his cart. I asked if he needed help lifting it when he got to his car, but he declined and said his son and wife were in another aisle. He thanked me and left, so I went back to the soda deciding which one to get. Once my back is turned, I hear it. Those dreaded words you never want to hear when you just want to pick up one thing and leave. "Excuse me?" I turn around and I see her. Typical Karen. Fake tan skin, obnoxiously large sunglasses, wearing a neon pink 2 sizes too small t-shirt, jean shorts, and flip-flops. Me. Yes? Karen. "Now that you're finally done with that old man, you can pick up this water," pointing at the 36-bottle package of water, "and carry it to the front with me." Her cart was packed full of different foods. The bottom of it also had stuff on it. Me. "I'm sorry, but I don't work here. But I can get an employee to help." I was wearing a plain t-shirt and shorts, nothing that indicated I worked there. She looks me over. "I don't care if it's your day off or whatever. You will lift that water, and you will come with me to the front." Me. "No, I won't. If that's the attitude you're going to have when asking for help, you can do it yourself." I turn around, grab a Mountain Dew, and walk away. "Jerk!" she screamed at full volume. I ignored her and kept walking. I was about to head to the checkout when I saw they had a Starbucks next to it. I ordered an iced coffee without a lid or a straw because I wanted to try and save the environment. I get to the self-service and just wait in the line. When it's my turn to scan, I hear a familiar voice right behind me. "That's him!" I turn around and I see her again with a confused manager in tow. "This is the one who refused to help me. Confused manager points to me. Him?
Yes,
She said with glee.
that's him.
Confused manager. Ma'am, he doesn't work here. Karen interrupts him,
Yes, he does.
her every word dropping with venom.
And oh, look, he's drinking coffee instead of helping me.
I just glared at her and said nothing.
Put down that coffee and help me with my groceries.
She slapped the coffee out of my hand, which caused it to spill all over me before it hit the floor. The heck? The manager, becoming less confused, and turns to me. Sir, do you want me to call the police? I'm wiping my shirt. No, I just want her gone. Now. Manager. You heard him, ma'am. Karen, stumbling.
But,
Manager. You have two options. You can either leave willingly, or I'll call the police, and they'll drag you out in handcuffs. Karen turns and spits at me.
Jack.
She storms right out at the front door with none of her stuff. I clean up in the bathroom, and they even give me 2 bottles of soda for free. The sad part of all this was I would have helped her if she just minded her manners. Speaking of soda, what's your favorite flavor of soda? Please leave a comment right now letting me know. Next we've got, You Stole My Car, I Will Make You Homeless. This story happened approximately 4 years ago to a friend of mine. He and his wife, girlfriend back then, took a house loan, bought a new Chevrolet Camaro, and in general, they were preparing for a life together. He had proposed to her. Because of their lack of free time, due to their hard working to pay off the loan, they didn't have much time for themselves, nor for the abnormal amount of other things such as the housework. So they hired a maid. His first impressions about her were good, and they decided that she's the person they would trust, and they handed her their house keys because they were at work most of the time she came around to clean their house. First few weeks, she worked hard and always paid attention to detail and nicely cleaned their house from the bottom to the very top. She was also instructed not to let anyone in and to always lock the door when she left. After 6 months of working there, strange things began to happen. Not in any anomalous way, but things started to disappear, being stolen. It all started with small things like AA batteries, which are barely noticeable missing. But soon things graduated as phone chargers, perfumes, the more expensive ones, and some electrical gadgets went missing. My friend thought that he simply lost them, but soon the maid raised suspicion as the things went missing when my friend wasn't present when she was detailing their house. But without any evidence, blaming her wasn't in place. Also, he found out on some social media that she has got some serious debts, at least in thousands of dollars, ailments, divorce court settlements, etc. So he decided to install security cameras, and he didn't tell the maid. 5 weeks forward, and he had enough evidence to press charges on her as the things she stole were valued at $250+. In my country, anything stolen above $250 is considered a crime. He got furious when his flash disk containing private documents as well as some of his billing and his official work documents was stolen. But he wanted her to get even more into the stealing so he could squish even the last cent out of her. So he came up with a plan. He told the maid that he and his girlfriend will be gone for a week for a honeymoon and that he will be going by a taxi, not to pay the extra money that airports charge for the parking. That means his brand new Chevrolet Camaro would stay parked in the house the maid has keys of. They rented an apartment through Airbnb just a few blocks away from his place, and he placed a GPS tracking keychain into his car so he could see where his car is through the phone app. He then placed the car keys in a visible spot in the house so the maid would notice. All that was left was to wait for the magic to happen, and his intuition was right. After 2 days of almost constant watching the GPS tracker's location, the car left the garage. All of a sudden, the car was cruising at 90 miles per hour on the highway. My friend immediately called the cops. They caught the maid something like 20 miles away. And now the revenge can take place. He decided to press charges on the maid. At the court, the maid told the judges my friend told her to drive the car to some untold location. She acted like she forgot where it was. And the one that should go to jail is him, because he wrongly accused her and he just wants to get money from her to pay his loan. But the tables turned. My friend and his lawyer showed the court all of the video evidence of her stealing his stuff valued highly above $250. It was like $40,000 including the car. So it was a crime. She started telling every single lie she could think of. The security had to calm her down. She is facing 5 years in jail and she was charged $5,000, including all the stolen property, but the car, his lawyer, and some other court stuff. The price was excluding the car because it was returned almost immediately. Few days later, police did a house check on her and most of the stolen stuff was there. There were also some other things reported missing from other customers of hers. Due to her previous debts and her new ones she owes, she will very likely become homeless when she gets out of jail. Speaking of cars, what's your dream car? Please leave a comment letting me know. Next we've got, entitled Old Ladies Want to See My ID, so I showed it to them. My grandma's favorite pastime is playing bingo. On our 18th birthday, she would take us with her for a little birthday treat, dinner, then bingo. On my 18th birthday, my mom also tagged along with us too. Dinner was great, and then we went to the bingo hall. My grandma let me buy the tickets for her, as I could legally do that now. The lady behind the desk asked for my ID, which I showed her. She wished me a happy birthday and good luck. All the old ladies sitting around us kept saying how cute I was, and were wishing me luck. There was a claw machine there, and if you didn't win a prize, it gave you a ticket. If you collected 5 tickets, you could take it to the front desk and they would give you a prize. I kept forgetting my tickets, and a few of the ladies came over and gave them to me, letting me know I had forgotten them, and again saying how cute I was to be playing bingo with my mom and grandma. The first game started. If you've never been to a bingo hall, basically they have a camera set up, so you can see the next ball on a big TV screen. You can mark that number on your card as soon as it appears on the TV, but it doesn't officially count until the caller calls that number. We played and lost a few games, but then it came time for the first big prize game of the night, a full card for $1,000. About 15 or so minutes into the game, my last number comes up on the screen. I turned to my grandma and said, as calmly as if I was telling her what I had for breakfast that morning, I think I got a full card. My grandma starts flipping out. He's got a full card! Oh, he's got a full card! They finally call the number, so I stand up and yell, bingo! All of the old ladies look at me, and if looks could kill, I would have died 100 times over. The worker comes over and takes my card. How they verify the cards are, each card has a number in the middle that is the computer. The worker reads that number off to a caller. They punch it in, and it comes up on a big TV screen showing your card and how many numbers you have/don't have. When they punched in mine, it showed that I had about 5 numbers missing. A false bingo. Everyone that was already staring daggers at me fired more daggers. Dumb kid can't play properly. What an idiot, etc. But the worker yells to the caller, no, it's 4-5, not 5-4. They punch in the proper number, and there it is, clear as day, a full card. She takes my card into the back and comes out with $1,000 cash. All the old ladies are yelling at her as she walks past. Hey, he can't play. He is too young. You need to card him. The worker walks over and says, hey, I know we carded you before you bought the tickets, but I just need to check it again, just to keep everyone happy. I gladly pulled out my ID and gave it to her. She looked at it, said, yep, looks good. Happy birthday. And she handed me the $1,000. I had never seen that much money in my life, so I instantly gave it to my mom to hold on to. We had agreed that anything we won, we would split 3 ways anyways. The game continued, but the people dabbing around me seemed to dab just a bit harder than normal. I went to the washroom and I could hear their snarky comments as I walked past them. All the ladies that were calling me cute earlier were now looking at me like I was a horrible person. Time for the final game of the night, the second big prize game. Another full card game for $1,000. As luck would have it, about 15 minutes or so, I see my last number on the screen. I laughed this time. I have a full card again. Again, my grandma yelled like she did the first time. Oh my God, he's got it again! They call my number, and I once again stand up and say, bingo! I can hear audible bangs on the tables and people yelling, come on, this is not fair, etc. The worker comes over, and sure enough, it's a full card again. I swear, the place was going to riot. I didn't feel safe walking to my car afterwards. People were getting in the worker's face yelling at her saying, there is no way he is 18. He is not allowed to play. We are going to get this place closed down for allowing him to play bingo, etc. The worker walks over to me, $1,000 in hand, and says, hey, sorry, I know I already carded you, but they're asking me to do it again. I said no problem, and I pulled it out and gave it to her again. The old lady still yelled,
How do we know he is 18? He could be in cahoots with them.
so the worker asked if she could borrow my ID for a second. I said sure, and she took it over to the caller's booth. She put it in front of the ball camera, and there it was on all the TVs, my ID with my birthday on it. She yelled to everyone, clearly annoyed. See, he is 18. He's allowed to play. The room went quiet. They knew there was nothing they could say now. She came back over to me and handed me my ID with $1,000, and once again, with a smile, said, Happy birthday. I'm now the favorite grandson, and I got a new computer with my share, so happy birthday to me.
And shoutouts to our Regenerals of the day, Celestial Cinderella, Commander Stone, and Anne Swan. Become tomorrow's Regenerals by leaving as many rees as you can in the comments below. And please listen to my playlist every night when you go to sleep.